everybody, if you know my channel, I'm Lori and welcome to the Chatty Bookworm. I think I got like 13, there's more than 13 books here, but some of them are a series, so I'm just going to talk about what I've read so far in the series, if it's a favorite. So yeah, let's do this first. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please think about subscribing and hit that bell icon so you'll know whenever a video is up for your viewing pleasure. Thanks for my new subscribers. And yeah, we're going to get the two that everybody should know because one I did a squirrely vlog with. And the other one I've been talking about nonstop since I started the series. So, we'll get those two out of the way. Right, because those two are probably right now, because they're the freshest, are probably two of my most favorite. I can't find the book that I wanted to, my favorite book, so I'm going to hold up the first one when we get to that one. But first we're going to get the one that everybody's going to know. Fourth Wing, it's all over the place. I know some people don't like this book, some people don't understand the hype. I know Elliot couldn't stand it, Elliot Brooks. And I know some other people didn't like it. I just can't think of names off the top of my head, but I loved it. Oh my gosh. This is a school for dragon riders. And yeah, it's a college, I should say, for dragon riders. And it's very, very hard to survive. And Violet is supposed to be like a, what do you call it, scribe? And her mom's like, no, everybody in the family has been a rider. You're going to be a rider. And she doesn't have no time at all to, really train. She doesn't have the training as much as everybody else. And she has, I forget what it's called, but something like where she can, like, hurt herself really bad. I forget what it's called. But, and people think that she's, like, weak because of that. And I think she's a badass. I know some people don't understand didn't agree, something to do with the, the representation and stuff. But I've heard a lot of people say, and even her herself, the author, Rebecca Yarros, even she, her and her, I think I can't remember if she has a boy or girl, but both of them have what Violet has. So, yeah. But I thought it was really good. I was invested from the beginning to the end. Like, so far, this is my favorite book of the year. Like, oh my gosh. I am so obsessed. I got some dragon stickers the other day. I have a shirt. I got two, but one of the shirts I didn't like. But anyways, we're not here to talk about that. But I got a shirt for it. So yeah, I'm thinking about getting a dragon tattoo if I have the money in August. So yeah, because August is my birthday month, so I'd love to get a tattoo of the little golden dragon in here. Oh gosh. But anyways, number one so far this year. Oh my gosh, I love the romance in here. There ain't a whole lot of romance, and it's slow burn. To me at least, it was very slow burned. And oh my gosh, I either really loved the characters or really hated the characters. And it made me cry. I just love this book. It is definitely what got me. Now I'm like obsessed with dragons. I've been reading some books that I can find with dragons, like Mel romances. I found a couple that I want to read. I want to read, what is it called? Fireborn series? Whatever it's called, by Rosaria Hundu? How do you say her name? I'll get it out. I want to read this series now because of dragons. I have a couple other dragon books physically that I own that I want to read. This got me really started on dragons. I loved it so much. And yeah, I know not everybody's going to love the book, and that's fine. But to me, it was definitely worth the hype. I loved it. Like, look at this. Like, look. I loved it. Like, oh my gosh, I love it. I put one of the most iconic quote all over TikTok right now is said on page blah blah. I'm not gonna say what page in case you haven't read it yet. But yeah, I just love this book. Like, oh my gosh. Like, there's so many tabs you can't tell very well because of, you know, but as they go like this, you can see the tabs. Like, there's a lot of tabs. Yeah, a lot of tabs. Yeah, I could go on and talk about this book for hours and hours and hours, but we're going to quit. This is going to be a long video otherwise. And the next one is A Theory of Bones and Gold, the Soulbound series by Hailey Turner. My favorite one, this one was a 5. The second one is my favorite. Something about near and nigh. It's called All Souls Near and Nigh. It's my favorite so far. One of my absolute favorite character is introduced in the second book, and I freaking loved it. It was so good. Yeah. So book 2 and I think 3 were my favorite so far, but all of them have been 5 or 6s. So, like, this is really good. This is like the adult equation of I don't know, I always forget of, you know, City of Bones. Yeah. A lot better than City of Bones, I think. I love it. It's very supernatural, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of, like, different kinds of creatures. There's, like, rare creatures. I'm not going to tell you what else. There's gods. I mean, I just love this book. It's adult, so it doesn't have that feel of incest, like, what you call it does. Like how people talk about, like how City of Bones has, like, a lot of, you know, that series has a lot of, like, you know. But anyways, that one. Those two are probably, like, my personalities right now. I love them. Then, books 1 and 2 are my favorites in this series by Lonnie Pitcherick. I forget how you say the name. But the first book, of course, is Envy. It's the 7 Deadly Sins. Excuse me, series. And Wrath. I think out of the 2, Wrath is probably my favorite. This is superheroes that were created by not good people, and then there's a prequel, which I'm blanking on the name, where some people save them when they're little, like babies, and now they're grown up, and they got to keep the world safe. They had different different things. Like, he's Envy, he's Wrath, of course. So they, like, what do you say it? They have to find their mate, or they can, like, turn bad. It's so good if you like superhero books. Like, what's it called? Why am I blanking on the name? It's the real popular one, and my daughter loves it. You know, the one with, oh my gosh. I forgot the name of the name of the movie. Oh my god, you guys are probably like, Lori, come on, tell us. We already know. Or, Lori, we know already. Why can't you get it out? Oh my gosh. What is the name of it? I forget. Why am I forgetting the name? You know, it looks like with Wolverine. You know, that one. I can't think of the name. But you guys know what I'm talking about. But if you like that, and you like, yeah. And you just like, anti-heroes, because they kind of are, like, in a certain sense, kind of anti-hero-y, and, you know, but they're vigilantes. That's what they're called, not anti-heroes. They're vigilantes. These books are really good. There's also some ones with like girls in it, so yeah. They're not all just you know, like the main character. I mean, the main, you know what I mean? One of the deadly sins they're not all male deadly sin characters. You know what I mean? It's really good. Like, oh my gosh. I just thought this was really good. I'm not done with the series yet, but I'm probably going to pick it up, like, in the winter time, like, probably in October, and finish up the series. Yeah. I think it's really good if you like, I can't think of the name of it. But you guys, I just said. I mean, I told you guys what it's called. With Wolverine. That's all I know. Okay, these, I love the whole series. Like, the whole series is my favorite series, is one of my favorite series. But my favorite out of the three is book 1 and 3. This is the Book Club Boys series by Mac Walker. The first one is Love and Monsters, and the third one is Die For You. This one just came out. Oh my gosh. It's like they have a group. They're like 3 best friends, and they have like a book club group, and they meet their significant others. And like, and this one, the first one, is probably my favorite out of the 3. But this one, he has a stalker. And then there's this killer that's like been talked about through the whole, for the whole 3, I mean the first 2 books, that comes into play in this one. We find out who the actual one is. So you do need to read them in order, just because you get the like the thing of the killer. And then the 3rd book is when it all like we find out the killer is like going after Tristan. Yeah. So this one is Tristan and Gabriel. Gabe. I love him. And the first one is Noah and Jake. These 2, you know, they work together and they start to like each other. And like I said, he gets a stalker that's after him. And yeah, it's very good. And this one is Gabe is hired to be Tristan's bodyguard to protect him until they can find out who the killer is. Oh my gosh. These 2 were so good. Like, this is definitely like one of my favorite series. I wish I would have grabbed the other one just to show you guys. But, yeah. But it's really good. But definitely, I think Max Walker is probably my favorite male author. So, yeah, I just love him. Of course, I gotta talk about Maniac. Come on, the last book in the Necessary Evil series. Definitely. I mean, it's tab like galore. Like, come on. If you should know, like, if, yeah, I don't think I'm spoiling anything. And I'm sorry if you think it's a spoiler, but this is Thomas and Adian's story. Thomas is the dad figure. He takes them in when they're really, really young, and he trains them. They're psychopaths, so he wants to train them to make sure they don't, like, turn, you know, like, kill just anybody. So he turns them all into a vigilante group. And the first one, of course, is with Adam and Noah. Yeah, and you might think it's taboo, but it's really not, because Adian never felt that way about Thomas, you know, like a dad. Like, yeah, so as you read on, you'll know what I'm talking about. Why it's not, you know, that way. So we got Spellbound by F.T. Luckins. I'm always forgetting how to say the author's last name, but oh my gosh, this is good. Like, their mentors go missing, and they have to like team up and find out what happened to them. And they're like, their mentors are on opposite sides, kind of. This is with Rook, and what was his name? It's been a while since I mean, I forgot like what their names are. Rook and what is his name? I'm trying to think of his name because I can't remember. But yeah, that's basically what they're trying to do, is they're trying to like find them. And yeah, I don't want to say too much because I think it would be a spoil. A lot of this is kind of hard to talk about without spoiling it. But Sun is the other person's name. So yeah, they're just trying to like team up to find their mentors. What happened to them? First one goes missing, and then later on one of the other ones go missing. And like I said, and it's their romance, and it's so freaking good. It's funny, it's cute. Shh, sorry, you guys. But yeah, it's funny, it's cute. It's just really, really good. We got Peter Darwin by Austin Chant. This is, of course, Peter and Captain Hook romance. Yeah, it's the lost The Lost Boys say that Peter Pan went back to England because of Wendy Darling, but Wendy is just an old life he left behind. Neverland is his real home. So when Peter returns to it after 10 years in the real world, he's surprised to find a Neverland that no longer seems to need him. It says the only person who truly misses Peter is Captain James Hook, who is delighted to have his old rival back. But when a new war ignites between the Lost Boys and Hook's pirates, the ensuing bloodshed becomes all too real, and Peter's rival with Hook starts to blur into something far more complex, sensual, and deadly. Oh my god, this was so good. I think this is the one that has trans rep. I think I read this during Trans Right Readathon, if I'm not mistaken. Oh my gosh, like, it was so freaking good. Like, I didn't start tabbing it, so I want to reread it and really tab it. Because I didn't start tabbing till the end because, you know, this was one of the times where I was like, okay, we're going to wait. And then I got so invested in it that I just didn't want to stop to actually tab it. But towards the end, I was like, okay, I've got to really tab these spots at the end. So I do now that I read it, and, you know, I want to take my time with it and really annotate it and just have a good old time with it. This was so freaking good. Definitely has a twist on the Peter Pan story, and I loved it. I thought it was one of the best Peter Pan, and I don't even like Peter Pan. I don't really care for the movies. I don't really care for Peter Pan, the book, but you're gonna see I have another one on here. I think it's one more that is also a Peter Pan retelling, but this one, oh my gosh, this one, yeah, I just love the chemistry between these two. I love the enemies to lovers feel. Oh my god, it was just so freaking good. So freaking good. This one's been a while, so I'm trying to remember exactly what happened in Seven Faceless Saints by M.K. Loeb. I forgot exactly what this one is. It's like a murder mystery. Yeah, it's been a while, so I just know I really loved it. I thought that the chemistry between these two were hot. I just really liked it. I thought that she was, I liked that to me, she was more badass than he was. Yeah. This is, but yeah, there's a killer stalking the city, and yeah, that's all you need to know. A lot of the books that I read have a lot of stalkery feels to it this year. I don't know why, but it is very stalkery. But yeah, I just really thought this was good. I remember when I was reading it, there was parts that gave me goosebumps. I was really invested to find out who the killer was, and I'm really excited for the series to continue. I don't know how many books are going to be in this series, but oh my gosh, I'm so excited to find out and to continue on with the journey. This one is the darkest. No, not the darkest, actually. I think the darkest ones are probably the Onley James ones. But Lotus, oh my gosh. This one, he went missing when he was very, very young, and him and the girl were best friends, and she's always wanted to, she always been in love with him since they were little, and and he comes back. He's found, I forget how many years later. It's very dark. If you read Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman, oh my gosh. That one was super dark. And you hear about him being found in that one. It's not a spoiler. So, yeah. So, yeah, you definitely, hear about him being saved in that one. This is Oliver, and I forget the girl's name. Let me tell you real quick. Sydney, yeah. And it's him trying to, because he was kept in a cellar type thing, down below by his captor, and he thought that the world ended, there was a bombing or whatever you want to say, and almost everybody died, and yeah, and whoever was left were in other bomb shelters, whatever you want to call it, and yeah. but of course he was lied to, and yeah, so he's got to heal from all that, and then there's some other stuff that's going on. Of course, you know, you don't know why he was kidnapped and stuff, you know, so you got to find out all that kind of stuff. It was so good. This one was also very dark. A lot of these Clint got me into. He got me into this one. He talked about it, and I was like, oh my god, I got to read it. And the Soulbound series he got me invested in. Can't remember if he talked about any of the other ones that are on here, but I'm in the middle of some other books that that Clint was talking about. Readers on here, and yeah, and I'm in love with them too. I'm just taking my time with them. But anyways, this one, I forget their name. This one like was a while ago. Like this was the beginning of the year, I think. Yeah, it was January. So, but I know he got like he was like his family, you know, kicked him out. And he like was on the streets and he had to sell himself and stuff like that. And then that's Mac. And then Silas he starts counseling, like, I mean not counseling, but he starts like being like one of the people for like you know, anonymous, like, you know, for whatever your addiction may be or whatnot. And he's like yeah. And he's sees Silas, not knowing who he was, just seeing him, and yeah, and they like start liking each other, like through that, but he doesn't know who he is right away. And then Silas's dad is really sick or something, and he's hired to be his caregiver, and yeah, and they fall for each other. It's very, 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 very like what you call it, because of things that's going on with Silas. But it was so beautiful, but so heartbreaking. Their romance, oh my gosh. Yes. This one I'm so glad that Clint got me invested in. I mean, talked about it because, oh my god, like, look at the tabs. Like, these are tabs. Like, not just a little tab. There's a lot of tabs in here. Like, I really want to reread it so bad. So, yeah, it was so good, like, but definitely triggers for a lot of different, like, you know, for prostitution, because like I said, that's what he had to do when he was younger, for drug use and some other stuff. So yeah, just check your trigger warnings. Okay, last three. We're almost done, you guys. Like I said, these are in no particular order besides the first two. Here's the other Peter Pan one that I read. This is Far From Neverland by Riley Hell. It says, Peter Pan left Neverland and never grew up. Now I want him back. This is like so he goes away, but his shadow is still in Neverland, and Hook needs him to come back. This is really enemies to lovers. Like the other one was enemies to lovers, but this one is super enemies to lovers. It was so freaking good. Oh my gosh, like Pan and Hook. Like I just loved Hook. Like I think I'm more in love with Hook than I am Peter Pan. And yeah, I just love Captain Hook in these books. Like he's supposed to be really bad, but he's also kind of like sexy and not as bad as what he tries to put himself off to be. Oh my gosh. Like this book was just heavenly. Like I loved it. But yeah, Hook has to find a way to bring Pan back to Neverland. And, you know, so before his shadow takes over the whole, you know, Neverland. It's so good. Oh my gosh. Mwah! Perfect book. I loved it like so much. Another favorite is Riley Hart. I loved all three of the books so far, I think. Yeah. This is the Veers podcast, book 3. It's like best friends and yeah, them falling for, you know, who they fall for. I don't know what to really say about it, you know. This one was so good. Like, this one was the best. Like, I loved all three of them. Gave all of them 6 stars. But this one, like, oh my gosh. And I'm so excited for the last book that comes out the last day of the year. Like, oh my gosh. Like, these two, Marcus and Kai. They are so hot together. And the sex scenes. Woo, if you like some spicy sex scenes. Like yeah. I mean, like, the sex scenes in here are, like, delicious. And the comedy between these two, like that. They are so funny together. They are so hot together. I mean, they are. Like, I even wrote, like, hot, so hot. It was just a good time. Like, Kai needs, like, a place to stay. And Marcus lets him stay there, and of course Marcus is at first is like, you know, I don't want to be with him, you know, and blah blah blah, and you know he really does. Like, yeah, you know he's really into him from the very beginning. And Kai just wants to like jump his bones right away. I'm funny, I know. I put down here, like on page 22, I just love these two so freaking much. Marcus is such a daddy, and I find it sexy as hell. And I put a little. So you can tell I really love this one because I wrote in it, like really wrote in it. I put down, I can't wait for Mike Corbin to get his HEA.
I still.
Like, this was so good. Like, oh my gosh, I just love this one so much. It was like such a good time. I put down, I love the friendship of this group so freaking much. Like, I love a good found family trope. I just love it. And this one has a good found family trope. Oh my gosh. And each guy, as they meet them and stuff, becomes part of the family group. And I just love how, like, everybody's so welcome to one another. Like, yes, this is just a really good series. And I am so excited for the last book with Corbin, but I'm also sad because it's the last book. Oh my gosh. But yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite series and one of my new favorite authors. And the last one, of course, is Paladin, the first book in the Jericho Boys series by Onley James. Paladin and Ever. I got a dragon, like a toothless dragon, and I called him Ever because of Ever in this book. I just love these two. Like, they're so hot together. Like, he, why did I go blank on what I was going to say? Arseny? I forget how you say his name, but he is, like, so cool. Like, look at his blue hair. Like, yes. Like, look at the tattoos. Like, I'll be getting a special edition of this book. Sometime, it was supposed to be July, but I think it's going to be August now, the end of August. And some goodies, and I'm so excited. I think I ordered the shirt separately because I couldn't get the real expensive box. But oh my gosh, like, I'm so glad I bought the box because I would be so sad if I wouldn't have bought it to, like, miss out on this on the goodies. I don't know what's going to be in the goodies, but yes. But oh my god, this was so good. Like, he goes, because like I said, this is the spin-off. This is a spin-off from the third book, which is Atticus and Jericho. And that's why it's called Jericho Boys, because you meet all of them in that book. And oh my gosh, like, these two are so adorable together. I love I don't even like video games, but I love the video game part in here. Like, it gets pretty heated between these two, like, during the games. Because, you know, he does it on air, whatever you want to call it. And, you know, yeah, like, there's just so many cute parts in this book. Like, I could talk about this book forever. It's so freaking cute. Like, Ever is, like, my new baby. Like, I just love Ever so freaking much. Like, oh my gosh, this book was so good. Really good for a new spin-off. Oh my gosh. And the second book, I'm a Patreon of hers, and we've been getting, like, parts of the second book. Oh my gosh, it won't be out until next year, but oh, that book is already, like, I can already tell it's going to be like a 6 freaking ass star, just like the whole series. Like, I could go on and on and on and on and on and on and on about Onley James and all her books. I mean, I got a whole shelf, like 2 shelves, parts, you know, full of books, mugs, yeah, cups, you know, everything. Like, I just love this so freaking much. Like, oh my gosh, like, Onley James is my favorite author ever. I swear to gosh. My favorite book ever is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McClellan. But this is my favorite, like, the first series, I mean, is my favorite series, hands down. My favorite series ever. Like, oh my gosh. I can go on and on and on and on and on and on about the guys in these books. Like, they're so hot, but it's not the hotness that I love. It's how they are with their significant others as they meet their mates, or I guess you would say life mates, whatever you want to call them. Like, I just love, like, how they are with them. Like, yes, it's just like, they just like, oh my gosh. The second book in the Necessary Evil series is like my all-time favorite book ever. With like the dark, you know, dark books, dark romance books. And oh my gosh, like, I could go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. I could be here all day, but we're gonna end here because 32 minutes almost. By the time I do my outro and stuff, it's gonna be over that. But oh my gosh, this book, this book was so freaking good. Like, so good. It's probably not my favorite book of the year though, but it's pretty damn close. Like, oh my gosh, like, I can go on and on and on. Like, I just love, like, the chemistry between these two. I love the, he was so freaking hilarious. He was so hilarious. There's this one part, I'm not going to tell you about it, but oh my gosh. My favorite part of the series, of the book, I mean. Oh my gosh, he's so hilarious. Okay, alright, we're going to quit there. I am so sorry this is a long video, but I had a lot to say. Like, oh my gosh, like, so many good books this year. There's a lot more that I could have, like, picked. Like, I could have picked, like, another, like, 7 to 10 books because I have so many on my Kindle as well. But I wanted to do my physical books. But yeah, definitely so many good 6-star books this year. So many freaking 6-star books. Like, I've been having a wonderful year. I've read over 180 something books because I've been just allowing myself to mood read. And, you know, if I'm not liking a book, I've been making myself, because I used to be the type of person that would never DNF a book. And I would keep reading and not go on to the next one. Now I'm like, okay, I'm not feeling this one. Maybe it'll be a soft DNF for right now and then go back to it later, and some I just get rid of, you know. But yeah. So I think that's why I've been having such a great year. But yeah. Let me know down below, like, how your year is going. Have you found a lot of good books that you really love? Excuse me. What's your favorite type of book? Have you read Fourth Wing? Did you love it? Didn't you love it? Let me know why you didn't love it if you didn't. Be respectful, though, down in the comments. You know, just because you didn't love the book doesn't mean a lot of us didn't, you know, felt the same way. And also, if you love the book and someone down below says they didn't, please don't go off on them either. Everybody has a right to love or hate a book. As long as it ain't a toxic book, then, yeah. So, yeah. But just be nice down in the comments, like I said, if you did read Fourth Wing and want to talk about it. And, of course, any of these books that I talked about, if you want to talk about them down below, if you've read them, that is, please remember to do a spoily thing and then go down a little bit before you start talking. For other people that don't want to be spoiled, won't get spoiled. But, yeah, I just had a good reading year so far. So much fun. So, that's it. I'm sorry that this is, like, 35 minutes. But I had a lot to say. I had a lot of fun books. Yeah. So, yeah. If you guys, like I said, if you guys like this video, please give a thumbs up. I'm not saying all the other stuff. And I hope you guys have a fabulous day. I hope you guys are reading a lot of books. A lot of good books. And I hope you guys are having a good summer. And until next time, you guys know the drill. Happy reading. Thanks for being awesome. And I will catch you in the next video. I am out of here. Peace.
I dare you to fix me. I'm crossing the line again.